Hello, my friend. This is Clyde. A case of priority. Luke 10 verses 41 and 42 says, "The Lord answered her, 'Martha, Martha, you worry and fuss about a lot of things. There's only one thing you need. Mary has made the right choice, and that one thing will not be taken away from her.'" During this festive season, many families are faced with options, demands, pressure. The family will have to decide which activity is the most appropriate for them, while for some others, some people might take on some issues that, in their minds, are very important, especially in the cleaning department. Perspectives are very important. Do you put the big rocks first in the container, or do you try to pack in the sand before taking on other things? Think about it, and let us jump into our exploration of the text. Martha had a sister named Mary who lived with her, and later we learned that their brother Lazarus also lived with his sisters. What an interesting family arrangement. These guys were Jesus' close friends and were always welcomed in this home. Martha gladly opened her house to Jesus. Do you realize what she got herself into? An invitation to Jesus was an invitation to his 12 disciples, so that already suggests that the house is going to be full. Add to that the people in the community who would have joined Jesus and his disciples. Martha knew that would be the situation when she opened her house to Jesus. Her home was going to be overrun by a crowd, because everywhere Jesus went, he drew a crowd. Now stop and think about it. This seems to be Martha's house. So if you think about it, Jesus happened to be in town, and maybe it was a last-minute invitation to come to her home. It is understandable that Martha's concern would be to adjust things in her living room to accommodate the crowd that would be coming into her house. Once that was taken care of, Martha, being the hospitable host that she is, would turn to preparing a meal for her main guest. And since it would not be decent to only feed Jesus, she would have to increase the food to extend to the disciples and possibly the rest of the crowd there. This was very kind of Martha, and especially since she suspected that Jesus would be there for a few hours. Now, I know that this is not in the text, but it would have been so kind of Mary to jump in and help her big sister Martha. Many hands make light work, and just maybe if we both tackled the work, then we can finish soon, and then both of us can sit and listen to Jesus. Make sense? That did not happen. So Martha complained, "Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do the work all by myself? Tell her to help me." Jesus, I can't believe that you allow Mary to sit down and is listening to you while I'm here in the kitchen doing all the work. Will you please encourage her to come and give me some help? That's a reasonable request, if you ask me. Maybe Martha had tried calling Mary to come help, and she did not budge, and so she asked Jesus to send her into the kitchen. Jesus always comes up with the most unexpected answer, which reflects his ability to think outside the box. Jesus could have said to Mary, "Mary, go help your sister, and when you're both finished, you can come and resume listening to my teaching." Rather, Jesus took the unexpected. He told Martha something that not in 1,000 years could she have imagined that would be Jesus' response to her otherwise reasonable question. "Martha, Martha, you worry and fuss about a lot of things. There's only one thing you need. Mary has made the right choice, and that one thing will not be taken from her." Don't miss it. Jesus spoke to the heart of Martha. "Martha, you tend to worry and make a fuss about many things." Whew. Jesus just called out Martha as someone who worries about a lot of things. Worrying about whether she would get help is a big deal. Of course she's justified in worrying. Who else is going to be concerned about the things that she has to do? But Jesus is calling her attention to the question of priority. Jesus is talking to you and me today about priority. The things you concern yourself with, Martha, are important, but in the grand scheme of things, those things are not significant. Let's think about you for a while. You and I are facing numerous challenges in our lives, whether you're poor or rich. We worry about the future. We worry about our health. We worry about the problems in our lives. We worry about so many things. This kind of worrying about stuff is called anxiety. And anxiety is self-destructive, and yet many of us continue to be anxious. It has become a part of our lives. Jesus pointed out to Martha that she needs to stop worrying about the mundane things and rather focus on her relationship with God. Jesus said that you, Martha, have chosen to worry and get upset over the issue of feeding us and keeping the place organized. But look at Mary. She is taken up with me. She cannot get enough of me and my teachings. Martha, what is your priority? What should be your priority? Here's what Jesus said. Seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. You can spend your time worrying about life's issues, or you could wisely choose to focus on your relationship with God. Mary chose to focus on her relationship with God. Focus your attention on how to improve that relationship by spending more time with him. The other thing that you're concerned about, Jesus will take care of those things. It is a promise, but it comes down to a matter of priority. What is your priority? Make Jesus your top priority.